Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, we are already through the first week of January of 2024. And I don't know about you, but I am really excited about this year ahead. Um, Before we get started with today's topic, I want to encourage you to go ahead and say hello. Let me know that you are here. Drop where you're tuning in from in the comments. Also, let me know something that you are looking forward to in 2024. I want to hear all about what you're excited about. If you are new to me, you don't know who I am Trasetta, a now Washington life balance and productivity coach, CEO of Profitable Productivity. And what I do is support women leaders, specifically nonprofit leaders, to help you have it all without sacrificing your health and well being, right? You want to be able to have what I call balanced ambition. You want to achieve those ambitious, audacious goals, but you don't want to sacrifice your health and your overall well-being as a result. So that's why today we're going to be kickstarting this year with setting some empowering goals, but we're going to do this in a way that is healthy, right? So um, I want to share with you kind of some strategies or the process that you should go through or could go through in order to set those goals and achieve the success that you desire in 2024 and beyond. So, the first step that I want you to take is to simply do a reflection, right? Set aside some time to sit with your journal or with a notebook and your favorite beverage and just write out all of the different things that transpired over 2023. So you want to highlight the highs as well as the lows. What were some of the challenges that you faced? What are some of the habits that you had that you noticed throughout the year that contributed to both your successes and your challenges, right? You want to go through and really reflect on and acknowledge what you want, those areas where you won, and then that also kind of glean those lessons learned that can help you better set goals so that you set yourself up for success this year, right? And setting goals is really, specifically empowering goals, is really a pivotal step both for personal and professional growth, right? And its significance is particularly profound when it comes to you nonprofit leaders, right? Goals serve as kind of that guidepost, right? Those guiding beacons for you, and they provide the direction and purpose as you pursue your objectives to impact the community that you serve, right? So here's why it's really important, or why it's crucial for you to set goals. One, clarity and focus, right? When you know what it is that you desire to achieve, like what that vision is, it serves as kind of a roadmap or some guideposts, if you will, that's going to help you, especially you as nonprofit leaders, to identify what your objectives are in the midst of the various challenges that you face in your organization and in your personal life as well. Goals also serve as motivation and commitment, right? They can be very powerful motivators, which ignite this sense of purpose for you and help you to commit to stay the course to see the end result, right? And as nonprofit leaders, these goals really become that driving force that can inspire you and your team to overcome any obstacles that help you to achieve your mission and make that positive impact, right? Goals also help you to have be able to measure your progress, right? So if you are setting goals, and we'll get into SMART goals in a little bit, but you want to make sure that your goals are measurable, right? We're not talking about wishes like I want to lose weight, or I want to help women, or I want to help children. We want to set goals that are measurable, which will help you to track your progress towards the end result, right? So this not only is going to help you to provide a sense of accomplishment for you, but it's also going to enable you to showcase those tangible outcomes for the stakeholders, right? The people who finance your vision, right? And it's going to help to foster trust as well as support in your organization. Goals also serve to help you um, make decisions within your organization and even in your personal lives, right? So when you align with your goals, it helps you to make decisions strategically that contribute to the overall growth and impact of your organization. This holds true in your personal life as well. So you want to, when you have goals, it helps you to make decisions about what actions you're going to take and which actions you're not going to take, because you know where you're going, the direction that you're going, and it's going to help you to identify things that will pull you away from that vision or that mission, right? We don't want a mission drift. We want to really stay clearly focused on where we are going. Um, Professional development is another really good reason why setting goals is going to be impactful for you, right? Professional and personal goals or growth really go hand in hand when it comes to goal setting. So when you set empowering goals continuously, right? When you do that, it's going to help you to challenge yourself. It's going to help you to foster this ongoing development personally and professionally. It's going to help to impact your ability to be adaptable in the dynamic landscape that is nonprofit leadership, right? So, having goals can help with your professional development. It also can help your leadership effectiveness, right? When you set very ambitious goals, but yet make them achievable, right? They're still within reach. That's going to help to inspire your teams. It's going to foster this collective sense of purpose as well as dedication to the organization's mission. And finally, it's going to have a community impact, right? So when you set goals and you achieve them, it's going to impact the community at large or the community that you serve, and then kind of spread out from there. So when you are driven by your goals, you can leverage your resources strategically, and that will allow you to address any societal changes that need to take place within your community and bring about that positive change, right? So in essence, when you set goals, it's not just a professional practice, right? It is really this transformative journey that aligns your personal aspirations with kind of this broader sense of purpose. So for nonprofit leaders, it's this intentional goal setting becomes the cornerstone of your efforts to create this lasting and positive impact on the communities that you serve. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into kind of SMART goals and what that framework looks like. And I'm sure you've probably heard this term if you've been in the professional community any length of time and have been a part of any type of strategic planning for your organization. Then SMART, this should not be new to you. But in the event that it is, the SMART goal framework really is an acronym for setting goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? So you've got to have all five of those elements in order for you to have effective goals, right? Because we don't want to be creating wishes, right? Like I talked about earlier, we're not talking about, I want to help a certain body of people. We want to know how we're going to impact them. And we need it to be measurable. It needs to be in a way where we can really identify whether or not we are successful in helping them, right? Whatever that goal is, right? So you want to make sure that you're being very specific. How are you going to help? Where I want to help 10 women to start successful businesses or launch businesses, right? And that's very specific, but you also need to make sure it's measurable, right? I said 10, right? You want to make sure that we have 10. That is an achievable number. That hits that mark. If I had said 1,000, that may have been achievable. It really depends on your capacity. So you want to make sure that measurement piece is a bit of a stretch, but that it actually is achievable for you. And it needs to be relevant to whatever your mission and vision is for your organization, or if you're setting personal goals, to your life vision. And then it needs a deadline. By when? So I'm saying so that 10 women start businesses in 2024, right? So by December 31st, I will have helped 10 women start a business in this year, right? So we've hit all 5 of those criteria. So when it comes to goal setting in the nonprofit space, there's some unique challenges that you face that maybe don't really apply to, the corporate space, specifically as it relates to kind of staffing and fundraising, right? Because you're dealing with limited resources, both financial and labor, right? You deal with a lot of volunteers in your organizations where that's not the case in a corporate environment, as well as you're reliant upon fundraising efforts to fund the goals that you have, right? And needing to meet those goals in order for those fundraising goals, in order for you to have the financial resources to be able to accomplish the things you desire to accomplish, right? So it's really important to address any type of challenges that you might face by identifying those potential roadblocks while you're going through your goal setting process. I like to really encourage my clients to do this because when you identify what the potential roadblocks are to the success of your goals in advance, you don't find yourself in a situation later on, if and when that thing comes up, where you're under pressure, you're under the gun having to make a decision. You can make the decision in advance so that if or when that situation arises, you already know what you're going to do. You already have something in place to handle what that roadblock is. Now, can you plan for every single thing that could get in your way? Absolutely not. You want to figure out what are the most likely scenarios that can come up and come up with a plan to overcome those. Also, remember that when things that come up that you did not predict, or there's some sort of shift or change in the marketplace, like we had COVID a few years ago, take the time to step back and make a decision that is going to be best in the long term. Oftentimes, we want to put a band aid on something. We want to just kind of stop the bleed. We want to stop the bleed, or we want to remove the pain, the pressure immediately. And sometimes that makes sense, but other times you don't want to only do that. You want to stop the bleeding, but then also, how can we prevent this? What's the long-term solution here? You don't want to take shortcuts, right? So I definitely encourage you to do that. So I am going to drop a resource in the chat for if you want to go through the process of setting your goals. Specifically, as an individual, I have a free resource that I have called the Goal Getter Printable Pack, which I'm in the process of rebranding and kind of revamping a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat so that if you want to, or I'll go back and add it into the description. If you want to grab that to walk you through this same process, doing for your personal goals. The same process can be used for your professional goals or for your organizational goals as well. But the printable pack is really going to allow you to walk through that process as an individual, because we want to begin with our personal goals before we get into our professional goals. That way, we know that our professional goals or our career goals align with the life that we're trying to build. So, I definitely encourage you to grab that free resource and let me know how things go. Thank you so much for joining me for this first live stream of the new year. I will be right back here next week, Tuesday, for another 15 minutes of productivity empowerment. Have an amazing rest of your day.